So, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to talk today about a champion that initially, when we kind of got the data mining info from Trukos, and also all that stuff was released, I kind of slated this champion. I was like, this champion doesn't seem that great, and I will stand by the fact that on paper, Hyperion is so, like, undescriptive, and it doesn't, like, fully give you an idea of, like, his real power level, that he seems quite underwhelming, because there's a lot of really vague stuff, as to, you know, what the champion does. Like, if we have a look at the description for Cosmic Charge, gains charges periodically. What does periodically mean? Like, is it every 5 seconds? Is it every 10 seconds? Is it every minute? And we know from, like, the Master Mode and Heroic that periodically is about, like, 8 to 10 seconds. So it's very frequent. And also, like, to add to that, one of the main things that Hyperion has, especially when you're fighting him on Master Mode, whenever not at full power, Cosmic Charges are converted into power gain buffs one at a time. Well, what's a power gain buff? Does it increase the amount of power that your attacks generate? Does it passively give you power over time? Well, now we know that instead of, you know, being a power increase buff, it's actually, like, gives you, like, a bar of power over its duration, which is absolutely insane, and really what makes this character, like, such a pain in the ass when you're fighting him. He's one of, by far, the most difficult bosses we've had to face outside of maybe Mordo, because you have to play very quickly, you have to play very smart, and ideally, you know, you either want to be using a Scarlet Witch or Magic when fighting this opponent, especially in the Master Mode quest. I think he may be a little bit easier when it comes to Alliance War, but I want to start off by saying, you know, what I believe this champion is going to be useful in the game. I know he's been out in the game for about a week and a bit, about 13 days now, so almost kind of jarring on 2 weeks there. And from reading the forums and stuff, I think kind of, you know, the general consensus is he's quite a good champion for Alliance Quest to take the poison lanes, because he's fully immune to poison. Apart from Scarlet Witch's poison, which is a little bit weird, but he's still immune to the poison lanes, which is really good. So that makes him really good for Alliance Quest, and also because he does so much damage. His damage output is ridiculous with the power gain and various ways that you can play him, and also the fact that on his level 2 he has a really strong armor break. That also makes him very good for Alliance Quest for fighting Kang and, you know, Cyclops and all that. He's very good for dealing with scenarios like that. And the final thing is, as an Alliance War defender, I don't think he's quite a top tier defender, but I think he's a very good defender, because again, whenever he's not at 3 bars of power, he's going to have that power gain buff up. So that makes him just a pain in the ass for so many champions to deal with. It seems like it's very easy for this champion to, like, quickly dip over into level 3, and then the level 3 with the heavily inflated stats in Alliance War is just going to one-shot you. It's going to absolutely wreck you. So I think those are kind of those two uses, Alliance Quest, attack on the poison lane, and also boss killing, Alliance War defense, and also just questing in general when you want to tear through stuff. I think this is a pretty solid champion to do that. Seems like a really fun champion to play. His kind of special attacks, like, are really cool. His special attack one is kind of like a heat vision laser, which kind of burns and reduces block proficiency. His level 2 is just this cosmic wind, where he what is it, he kind of he punches you, breathes, and then kind of dashes forward and then punches again, I believe. But we're going to see the animations and check all that stuff out in a second. And his level 3 is, like, insane. He literally, like, drops you to the floor, flies up above the atmosphere, and then just comes down with a killer punch. So that is a absolutely heroic way to end you in Alliance War, you know, when you do kind of push over to that level 3. So I really like Hyperion now. Like, my opinion on Howard the Duck and Hyperion has completely taken a 180. I thought Howard was going to be really good, because I didn't realize that, you know, a variety of his abilities, like his level 1 debuff, was capped. So I thought you could stack that infinitely to do some pretty crazy combos, but it's capped at 4, and that makes it really rubbish. And yeah, everything about Howard is just a little bit unreliable. It's not super great, but Hyperion as a champion seems really solid. Like, I stand by the fact that on paper, he didn't really make too much sense, because there wasn't too much information about him, and I kind of very quickly, you know, went to the assumption that he wasn't a great champion. But after seeing him played in the game, after fighting him, I have completely changed my mind on that. I think he's a really solid champion. So, you know, guys, I'd like to take back all of the hate on Hyperion. I think he's a pretty decent champion, and I'm very interested to kind of I want to hear what you guys who have pulled a 4-star or maybe 5-star Hyperion have to say about the champion. So now let's quickly just go over his abilities and talk about what he does. So again, as we covered at the start of the video, the champion is poison immune, which is awesome, very awesome, and also has Cosmic Charge, which is a passive. So the way that this works is periodically, while he's not at the full, like, 3 bars of power, he's just going to gain power gain buffs really, really aggressively. Like, most of the time, he's going to be under a power gain buff, which is just so ridiculous when you're fighting the champion. If you don't have a Scarlet Witch to nullify that or a magic to power lock, then you're going to have a lot of trouble. It's really, really annoying to fight this champion. And now once you get to 3 charges of power, so once your power is full, you gain these, instead of the power gain buff, you gain these cosmic charges, which increase your attack by 50% and physical resistance by 22.5%. So just going on the cosmic charges, the kind of plan when you're playing the champion, kind of initially looking at him on paper, is just to get to full power, and then wait till you get 3 charges. If you're doing a boss fight, if you're doing something that's slightly more difficult, if it's a quicker fight, it's just use the level 2 guys. Like, everything's dead by that. But if it's like a boss fight, if it's something that's really long, you wait till you get the 3rd bar of power, you wait till you get 3 charges, and then you slam down the level 3. Now, what that is going to do is going to give you a 100% chance to gain 3 cosmic charges, and then if you have 3 cosmic charges when used, he instead gains a cosmic overcharge buff. So while you're in cosmic overcharge mode, Hyperion gains power and does not convert cosmic charges into power gains while below full power. So that basically gives you like both of the effects. If you use the level 3 while you have 3 cosmic charges, I actually don't know for certain because I actually haven't got to play the champion yet, if you have to, wait for those 3 charges, or if that first line of text in the special attack 3 covers it. But if somebody could clear that up in the comments, that'd be great. But basically, yeah, it's really, really crazy using the level 3 and kind of continuing that on, because you get both the effects of like the 150% additional damage and like 60% physical resistance, as well as the additional power gain stuff, which seems pretty crazy. So it seems like you do that, and then the next thing you do is pretty much just like spam the special 2. The special 2 seems so good. 100% chance to armor break, removing any enemy armor and applying a 65% armor reduction for 15 seconds. 65% armor reduction is really, really good. Very, very strong. I mean, in comparison to a champion like 4, it is not as strong as that, but in comparison to pretty much every other armor break champion in the game, like if we look at Spider-Gwen, that's a 4% armor reduction, and this one is 65%. Iron Fist only has like a 9 to 11% armor reduction per stack. Symbiote Spider-Man only has like an 8 to 9% armor reduction per stack. So just having like this one special 2 that does a 65% armor break seems really, really good, and you also have a 60% chance to stun the opponent for 3.25 seconds, allowing you to maybe get like 2 rounds of combos in. So that's a very nice opportunity there. So I think that's pretty cool. And then also the special attack 1, this seems okay, but in comparison to the level 2, and with how strong the damage is from that and also the armor break, the special attack 1 seems a little bit lacking. And that attack incinerates the enemy, dealing 98% of your attack as energy damage over 10 seconds, and this effect also removes perfect block chance and reduces block proficiency by 50% while it's active. So there may be scenarios where that might come in handy, if you need to attack a heavily blocking opponent. I don't know, it's something to, it's something in his utility belt that he has and that can possibly do. Now, his heavy attacks as well have a 35% chance for Fury, increasing your attack by 55% for 10 seconds. Now, one of the things to bear in mind with his heavy attack is, initially reading this, I was like, oh, he's just like most of the champions that have a single heavy attack. Most of the kind of more built champions just do kind of like a swipe up, but Hyperion has like a double punch, so that 35% actually becomes a 70% chance, to get at least 1 stack, increasing your attack by 55%. Which is really, really good. It seems like there are some insane combinations you can get with like the level 3, the level 2, especially with this combining in this heavy attack to get some really, really nasty damage on your opponent. So it seems like Hyperion in terms of damage has a lot going for him. Now the final thing that I want to talk about is his self-heal, which seems to be the weakest point of the champion in my opinion. I don't really see any scenario or any context where you'd really want to use this, but I think it's probably worth mentioning and talking about. So, you can trigger Cosmic Healing by dashing backward and holding block for 2 seconds at the cost of 3 Cosmic Charges. So to have 3 Cosmic Charges, you will need to be at full power and then wait about, you know, it's going to be out 30 seconds roughly. And Cosmic Healing regenerates 15% of Hyperion's health over 15 seconds. Now, that's not much health. That is not much health for the amount of time that you have to wait initially to get this. You know, you have to stay at 3 bars of power for 30 seconds. Or maybe like after like the second cycle of the level 3, you could possibly do this as well. But it still seems so weak for the penalty as well that you suffer after, which is after triggering Cosmic Healing, Hyperion will be able to unable to generate Cosmic Charges for 45 seconds. So I believe that means no attack and no power gain for 45 seconds, so it seems pretty rubbish. It seems like a huge amount of damage that you need to sacrifice in order to get a very, very small heal for the character that again is over 15 seconds. It's not a burst of healing, so I just don't see any kind of even like with boss fights, it kind of just makes sense to just go out and deal as much damage as you can in the time frame. Even stuff like, you know, fighting bosses in Alliance Quest, it just makes sense with a 3-minute timer. If you're playing well, if you can parry and evade well, you know, surviving isn't often the problem when it comes to actual boss fighting. So even like just clearing nodes and regenerating, so bad for that. So I don't really see kind of a scenario where that's good, but you know, that's just kind of my thoughts on the heal. Very interested, those of you who've been playing the character, to get your opinion on his heal, because on paper, without playing the champion as a 4-star, it seems really bad. It seems really bad, but I'd like to be convinced otherwise, but I don't think I will be. But I'm interested to get your thoughts. Anyway, apart from that, his signature ability seems to add a little bit to the character. I mean, it seems like the icing on the cake, certainly doesn't make or break the character, and increases his buff duration by up to 65% at his max dupe level. So this is a 5-star one, so scaled up to dupe level 200. Now this seems very good for the Cosmic Charges and also the heal, but apart from that, it doesn't really seem like it affects much. But you know, that's going to make him a much better attacker. He's getting a lot more power and a much better defender because he's getting, you know, a lot more power from that debuff lasting a lot longer. I think overall, Hyperion, yeah, pretty solid champion for Alliance Quest attack on the poison lanes and also boss killing, Alliance War defense, and just seems like quite a fun champion to fight in Quest, well, fight with in Quest and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and try and beat this guy again on the hardest version of Master Mode. So we're going to be using the duped magic this time, and I might suck. I think what we're going to do actually, let's start this off by fighting Juggernaut, and the way to fight him on Master Mode, which we already did in a video a few days ago, is just to bait that level 2, guys. You got to bait that level 2 so incredibly well, but also power lock and try and prevent their power. As you can see, like straight off the fight, you know, that power game buff is so incredibly aggressive. Okay, just slide back for his level 1. We managed to stagger his second power game buff with Juggernaut's heavy attack, which is pretty good. Okay, let's go in for an attack there. So it seems like fighting the champion. I mean, baiting the level 1 seems like the easiest thing to do. So let's stagger him again. I think, actually, Juggernaut, he ain't bad for fighting Hyperion. I think Magic is still the better of the 2 champions. So let's dash back when he uses the level 2. Seems like the best way to go about fighting him. Okay, but you can see like how aggressive this champion is with the specials. Like he's always firing something off, which means that he's really, really tricky to kill because he is, yeah, like literally always using something, and you've always got to bait or play around something. And look, he's got to level 3 already, guys. We are about to get Tyrannosaurus Rex here, but let's get a quick level 2 for that additional damage before we just get absolutely nuked. Oh no, that was too early. He's also got the 50% attack increase now. We're dead, guys. We are so dead here. Yep. So yeah, I think that's one of the things that is going to make this champion so good for Alliance War Defense, is just the fact that he can so easily slip over into that level 3. And even when you're playing with a character like Scarlet Witch, you know, if you're kind of at like 2.5 bars of power, What do? Do you attack into the champion and hope you get really, really lucky with the power lock? I think that's the only thing you can do, because Scarlet Witch, again, she does rely on attacking to nullify the power lock for Hyperion, so there isn't like a win-win scenario. Like, you just have to kind of go all out with the Scarlet Witch, and that's the best option. I guess there are some times where you're going to get really lucky with Scarlet Witch in Alliance War, and he might be easy, but there are also equally those times where he might absolutely destroy a Scarlet Witch, and that's kind of what you need from a champion. You know, you want somebody who can really meet the match of Scarlet Witch. Oh, damn. Okay. Come on, buddy. Come on. Let's walk this in. Let's walk it in. Oh, no. We got wrecked there. Again, see, we couldn't bait the level 2 aggressively enough. Oh, man. I didn't expect to die that quickly. We did so much better in the actual playthrough of the quest. Oh, guys. Hopefully we don't fail too much here. Okay, what do we have left? We have a 3-star Scarlet Witch and a Colossus. I very clumsily, forgot that I was doing, a pre-review video and just queued up with my 4-star one, and I was like, oh no, I can't kill the Hyperion. I'm just gonna have to sacrifice that character. But I guess with the 3-star Scarlet Witch, we do have 3 crit nodes, 3 crit synergy nodes, so this is going to be significantly easier. But I guess another point that I want to make when it comes to Alliance War is that when it does come to, actually doing Alliance War, there aren't often these insane crit team synergies with Scarlet Witch, With only 2 other accompanying champions, you can't really get much more crit. So, yeah, that you don't have, the massive bonus that you do here. Okay. So we're at 2 bars about. We need to bait a level 2. Okay, let's wait for that to go, and there we go. Not too bad. We'd have been a little bit screwed if he wasn't playing so aggressively. Again, just in Alliance War as well, I tend to find the AI is maybe slightly less aggressive than the Master Mode, but I don't know if that's just an odd observation or something that's playing on my mind while playing Master Mode. But we shall see. Okay, we got Power Steel there, which is quite lucky. We've got 2 procs of Power Steel, so we don't need to bait. Power Lock. Guys, Scarlet Witch. Just the answer when it comes to Master Mode. Maybe not so much in Alliance War, but when it comes to Master Mode, she is the Hyperion Slayer, guys. She's pretty good for that. Damn, again, that heavy attack, man. The double punch is pretty cool. It's pretty nifty. There we go. Okay, guys, we managed to well, there was a little bit of skill there, guys. A little bit of skill. Not too much though, not too much. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and my thoughts on Hyperion. Again, it's a little bit of a complicated character. There is a lot of depth to him, so sorry if I rambled on a little bit about talking about him and all his abilities. But there was a lot to cover and a lot of crazy and cool stuff that he can do. But overall, I think he's a pretty solid champion. I'd be very interested, guys, once again, to get your thoughts and opinions on the champion in the comments below. Apart from that, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to leave a thumbs up on the video. That would be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, guys, thank you for watching, take care, and have an absolutely fantastic day.